mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. Goodbye, everybody, I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind and face the truth. Mama, oh, I don't wanna die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, when you do the fun, done go. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Gubby Leo, Gubby Leo, Gubby Leo, Gubby Leo, Gubby Leo, Magnifico. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from his monstrosity.
Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Build a wall, no, we will not let you go. Build a wall, we will not let you go. Build a wall, we will not let you go. Let me go, will not let you go. Let me go, will not let you go. Let me go. No. Mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. So you think you can stone me and save my life? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Saturday night. And yes, not a green screen tonight. Or can you even tell? But no green screen tonight. We are back in Studio 199 in the house. And look, Harley, I don't know what exactly you meant to say, but you have created a new meme, and I would just accept it and lean into it. My channel is under attacks. If that's what you meant to say, perfect. Now the meme here is whenever you send me super chats, it's my channel is under a tax. That is phenomenal. Holy shit, Harley. Because I think you probably were just complaining about the ER that iPhone gave you and not everything else, because forget it. Forget it. Just accept it and just say you meant to do it that way. Drunk 3POs in the chat says someone created a meme. Nice. One of these days, Jay will create a meme. One of these days, Jay will create one. I'm waiting for the day. Nandy with 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Hail to you, Nandy. And Harley Dave for $100. MAGA Red 100. And by the way, we have some expectations to meet, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And I'm not going to get too far into it, but I'll just say that Kino Casino was covering the whole thing last night with me in the quartering, and I've already said, like, whatever, I'm good with it. You know, I don't want to keep getting into a pissing contest, but during the so I guess somebody said that told quartering I'm like the number 3 super chatted channel in the world. And then so Kino Casino repeated that. They're like, he's the number 3 super chatted channel in the world. Oh boy. And I'm like, I'm not the number 3 super chatted channel in the world. I'm pretty high up there, but I'm not number 3. So they're just like repeating it. PPP and Andy are just like, number 3 in the world, quartering Cope. Whoa, buddy. And I'm like, I'm not number 3. I'm like, I'm top 10 in the US most of the time, but I'm not number 3 in the world. However, we have finished number 1 in the world a couple of individual days, but I can't compete with those fucking VTubers and those preachers, bro. I can't do it. And maybe that's what the quartering's doing. Maybe he's leaning into the Christian grift because the super chat numbers for the preachers, holy crap, bro. I can't compete. But either way, it's all good. Thank you, Harley Dave. I appreciate it. Mar Millen for Tid says late, but here is your pre-stream chat grift tax. Let's freaking go. Thank you, Mar Millen. And Mar Millen again says getting to number 3 grift tax. Jeremy Osteen needs to come back. Oh, Jeremy Osteen. A lot of you don't know about Jeremy Osteen. Jeremy Osteen may make an appearance tonight. We need fuel for the private jet. Jeremy Osteen may make an appearance. Wamen. Mellow Yellow says, that type of tax. I can't say it on YouTube, but I say it every day in traffic, along with another word that I can't say. I tend to say those 2 words a lot in traffic for no particular reason. No particular reason. I just like to say them in traffic. And when I'm at grocery store and, you know, when I'm playing video games and virtually I say it everywhere except for YouTube. But thank you guys for being here. We are going to talk about breaking Guthrie. I left you guys last night, pretty late last night, and I said, I don't really know what's going to happen with this. It seems like it's getting late, and a lot happened. At least that's what they made us believe, that there was a lot happening in the Nancy Guthrie case. We had a central character, a new character appeared in Breaking Guthrie, a new character. Who's the character? Ladies and gentlemen, my personal favorite character of the entire series, Culver's, made a crucial appearance in Breaking Guthrie last night. Culver's was the central backdrop of last night's episode. And of course, you guys know how much I love Culver's. And we needed our Los Pueblos Hermanos. And we got it with Culver's. So Culver's is now, we're getting product placement. We're getting a central kind of focused area. We've got a fast food chain now. Oh man, it's all good. So things are working really well. But ultimately, there was like 3 or 4 suspects that they had in custody, and none of them got arrested. None of them got arrested. Like, what are we doing, dude? It's crazy. Culver's is the new Los Pueblos Hermanos. I guess because I was watching this today, but I guess because it's hitting my algorithm because I talk about, because again, spoilers, if you talk about something, the overlords are listening and they'll start feeding you content. And then I get this video in my feed and I'm like, this is amazing. This is perfect right here.
Hello again. Today, I'm going to be talking about customer service. You should know by now that we always treat our customers with courtesy and respect. But what do you do when they are not at their best? It can be difficult to remain composed when a customer is disrespectful, which is why I'm going to share a few simple tricks to help you handle problem customers.
This looks like a guy I want to work for. This seems like a really nice guy. He seems like he's got everything together. And just a really simple, mild-mannered man that just seems like he knows what he wants from his employees. I think this seems like a great guy to work for. I could be mistaken, but it seems like a great guy, in my opinion.
Let's dive in. This customer is angry because his order is incorrect. While his tone is regrettable, his complaint is still valid. Apologize and correct the error. Don't be too hard on yourself. Mistakes happen. But never make the same mistake twice.
This is so good because you're seeing him as the public-facing Gus. But then all of a sudden, you see the man show up. You're like, oh, snap. Like it just shows how good of an actor he is.
But never make the same mistake twice. If the customer is still not satisfied, provide him with our mailing address where he is free to submit his complaint in writing. Oh my, now we have a problem. This customer is not just disrespecting you, he is disrupting other guests. He must be dealt with before his behavior adversely impacts their Los Pollos Hermanos experience. The most important thing is to avoid escalating the situation. Try calmly asking him to leave. Your safety and the safety of our customers is always the top priority. If you feel physically threatened, do not call the police.
Do not call the police. Oh, this is so good. If you've seen Breaking Bad, if you've seen Better Call Saul, you understand how brilliant this is. This is absolutely perfect.
Contact management immediately, and it will be handled. These situations can usually be dealt with privately, and most always, effectively. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time, when we'll be discussing your employee code of conduct.
So good. Anyway, with that said, we do have some updates on Breaking Guthrie. And let me tell you, it's a bunch of blue balls is all it is. With that said, we do have Harley Dave says, FML here, have some money, I guess. Listen, I don't make up the rules around here, Harley, okay? I'm just trying to live up to the Keno Casino standard. They think I'm number 3 in the world. We have to live up to that standard. I'm just trying to work with these guys. I don't want to be roasted by the casino. So I need your help. I need to upload a video. And I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, I need your help today. The casino thinks I'm number 3 in the world. And the only way we can get there is with your help. So I think that's how we're going to do it. Thank you, Harley Dave. Dar Schwartz Rises says, hail the 199 from out here in Mardi Gras land. Oh, snap. Don't get into too much trouble. Jeremy was number 20 yesterday. Get those numbers up. Yeah, man. Come on, guys. Number 20, man. We have fallen off. We have fallen off. I will say, the numbers on Playboard have been kind of crazy lately because, dude, whoever these people are, like, there's these people that are like, there must be money laundering going on right now. All right. let's just go back, okay, to last week. The number one guy in the USA has 331. He apparently he made $331,000 last week. Number two has 30,000. Number one made $300,000 more than number two. How does that even work? Who is this person? Dean Withers is up there. There's the Crucible. We were 15th. Guys, we were 15th. My channel is dead. 15th in the country. Our homegirl Kirsha passed us. We're done, man. It's over. But no, seriously, like, this is absolutely crazy. $331,000. There is. And then if you go to like the monthly numbers, like, this dude made $690,000 last month. Number two made 140. That is fucking crazy. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But seems to be a bit sus. Nandy 450 says, Jay, avoid cantaloupe on streams. A couple of close calls yesterday. I don't know what this is in reference to. I have no idea. Tom Grossi. Now he's legit. He's legit. You almost died yesterday, Jay. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. Somebody's got to fill me in on this one. So, Harley Dave says that Keno needs to understand call to arms. Hail to the casino, baby. Dude, I was dying last night watching them. What was funny is when Casino was reacting to me, somebody in the chat said, I bet D-Day Cobra is here in the chat. And I'm like, I am. I was having a blast watching it too. Bebop for 50 says, Ladybug told me to kick rocks. Remember, gentlemen, even gays can make a good living on YouTube. Valentine tax. Poor Bebop. Poor Bebop. You poor, poor soul. I am so sorry. Okay, so Drunk 3BO says, I was eating a melon while live and started choking. Haha, no lie. What? Only Jay. Only Jay. There's Ladybug in the chat right now. She got a mention. Ladybug's like, oh no. Oh no. Poor Ladybug. She's gotten pulled back into the drama. There we go. Let's see. Phil for 50 says, dead channel tax. I guess it's back to retail for you. Mod lives matter, chat lives matter, and happy Jessica. Happy Jessica. Hail to you, brother. Moto Geek says, dying channel tax. Thank you. I really appreciate that. With your support, we too can survive, and we will try. We will try our best. T-Mac Gamer says, a gay attacks Wamin, hashtag forced cream pie. I think that's what you were trying to say there with that hashtag. I think. Thank you for the super chat. Harley, I got that one. Mellow Yellow, I got that one. Marmillis is getting to number 3, grift tax. Trying my best, guys. We'll see what happens. Let me see. Jessica's in the chat. She's laughing. Whoa, buddy. Yes, it wouldn't send it. Oh, okay. T-Mac says, yes, it wouldn't send it if I spelled it right. And you guys see, like, sometimes when we misread these things, okay, and it's like because you're trying to get it through the YouTube censors, it's not because we're stupid. It's because the YouTube censors. That's the narrative I'm going with. Daniel's Corner says Earnhardt tax. Dude, I saw a tweet today that, and it's not like I wasn't aware of this because I've heard people talking about it, but I truly could not. Oh my God. Tree Bear. Good Lord. Listen, I am being honest. I'm laughing at this like I laugh at any other G&G meme, okay? It's not about beef. It's not about any of that. I'm laughing like it's any other 199 meme. That's it, okay? That's all it is. That's all it is. So I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything. That's it, man. Okay. I'm just laughing like it's any other 199 meme. My channel is under attacks is probably the best meme we've had in a long time. That is pretty great. But real quick, so I saw this tweet earlier, and obviously it's Daytona weekend, and man, it's been 25 years since we lost the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, on the last lap of the Daytona 500 in 2001. It's been 25 years. I remember it like it was yesterday. Man, that's Kenny Schrader right there in the 36 Eminem's car. They got tangled up with Earnhardt. He was good friends with Earnhardt. He had to witness whatever it looked like when you got to see inside Earnhardt's car with his I guess his entire face just planted into the steering wheel because the seatbelt broke. But yeah, Lady R&D says we're old, D-Day Cobra. Yep, we are. We're getting old, but it does feel like it was just yesterday that Earnhardt that we lost Earnhardt at the 2001 Daytona 500. Yet here we are, man. Okay, so moving on. Breaking Guthrie, everyone. Breaking Guthrie. What a weird scenario. So last night, everything was just stupid. You had all types of activity. You had all these crazy things going on. You had 3 different scenarios where things were happening. They apparently had 3 or 4 people in custody. No one got arrested. No one has been arrested. Now, I'm not law enforcement. I'm not qualified to literally do anything but grift on the internet. So, but I'm using common sense here. And after 2 weeks, no suspects, no leads, no clues, no nothing. I have to imagine that at some point you have to start going, the family becomes people we need to start questioning thoroughly at this point in time. After 2 weeks of FBI, federal government, local law enforcement, you have to start going, we need to start thinking about the family because we have nothing else. The only people that had contact with this woman are the family. And you also need to start talking to TMZ because TMZ has an incredible amount of access to people that apparently have information. It's very weird. Very weird. In fact, TMZ, our main character in this whole thing right here, there's Harvey Levin.
Insight and analysis into this investigation. Let's bring in our own Paul Morrow, Fox News contributor and former NYPD inspector. So we'll start there, Paul. You heard what Harvey said about this letter. People have called him a honeypot now.
She has a great personality, by the way.
For these scammers. But he says, look, the federal authorities are taking these letters seriously. We don't know if we'll hear from this guy again. What do you make of all of this?
So obviously this person has positioned themselves in a way that they don't have to provide any proof of life because they're just outside of the investigation. It's all very coy and very protected. So I don't see anything here that's particularly compelling. A clever person could certainly construct this. Now, I want to be clear. That doesn't mean that there isn't something genuine there. But I just go back to what so many other commentators have said along with me, which is right now the actual reward is higher than the cost of a Bitcoin. And there'd be no pejorative in coming forward. You'd be a hero. And this nonsense about, well, I don't want to be thought of as a rat is ridiculous. As I've said on the air before, perpetrators who are in and around crime, they don't care about what they're labeled if you're offering them $100,000. So I'm skeptical of all of that.
Okay, let's pivot now to what happened overnight, this massive investigation, some kind of an operation at this house within 2 miles of Nancy Guthrie's home. They're being the sheriff's department being very cautious.
What is the clip channel to see the response? Under Armour Gamer. If you're talking about Alyssa Clips, that's the channel. Alyssa Clips does a lot of clipping of like a lot of internet drama and stuff like that. But I'm sure the mods can drop a link to her channel. She always asks for, she never has to ask me for permission, but she always asks for permission to clip my stuff. And I always tell her, you can clip whatever you want. You don't have to ask my permission, but it's really respectful that she does do that, but she doesn't have to. I don't know her, but you know, she covers like a lot of like Ricada stuff, CG stuff, all that, you know. So and occasionally I'll pop up when I'm beefing with somebody.
Just this morning saying there's absolutely no one that's been arrested, absolutely no one that's been in custody. They won't even confirm whether or not the two separate scenes last night were related. How are you reading all of this morning? We know that someone could be detained for questioning, not necessarily in custody or arrested. How are you sort of like picking up on what the sheriff's putting out right now?
So there are levels of detention in federal and state police work. There's case law that kind of proscribes what you can do.
I'm not learning anything from this video. I thought this video was going to have more information, so we're getting off of that one and going to this News Nation one. Nancy Guthrie raid, SWAT veteran calls Friday's action a success. I'm going to call BS on that. And I am an expert, so I'm an expert grifter, so I have all of the answers, and they don't. Olympian product for $50. This says Dave Rubin called. He is a big fan of your favorite super chatter, Trans Girly, and says that he's giving you this $50 to cover their minimum super chat fee. You may not like it, but Dave says he doesn't make the rules. Mod lives matter. Chat lives matter. I agree with Jay and happy Jessica. Holy crap. That's amazing. That was very good. Kate for 20 says Sabaton with a shrug emoji. Maybe. Let's listen into this.
He is a former Pima County SWAT. You were the sergeant of the SWAT team, right? You were pretty much over the SWAT team.
Commander, yeah.
Commander, yes.
For the last 5 years,
It's
off
nice,
and on.
It's nice to see you again, Bob.
Thank you.
Now, again, maybe I'm wrong, but like this is her house. And it just looks like anybody can walk up. It looks like anybody can walk up to the house right now. Where's the like line that like, where's the police line that says like no one to enter?
Walk us through a little bit of what you know about this operation last night. And are you surprised? The sheriff texted me this morning that there were no arrests.
I'll start by saying I'm not
It's a green screen.
No arrests. That's not uncommon in an operation like that. SWAT serves a couple different functions. First and foremost, is to make the scene safe for the investigators. They are not really concerned with evidence collection, things like that. They're concerned with taking everyone into custody, doing that safely, and giving the investigators a safe scene to work with. So it's not uncommon to go through an operation like that. They were there to collect evidence and interview people. And
Noted, Zwanny.
So last night was a success.
And that'll just take time now, because I'm assuming, just like we saw at the situation near the border, you know, they take electronics. I'd imagine all that's going to take some time. We're not going to see an immediate arrest.
Exactly. Unless there was evidence gained that it was rock solid and was time for the arrest, then they would do it then. But again, not uncommon. Sometimes these, as we can tell now, we're in the second week. These investigations can take a long time to get what they need to get the probable cause to make an arrest.
So
this is embarrassing. That's what you need to call this what it is. This is an embarrassment. What is it? Pima County? Is that the county it is? All we have learned through this whole thing, and I said this on my last stream, all we have learned is that if you are going to be kidnapped, if you have any plans to be kidnapped in the next 6 months, don't let it happen in Pima County. Don't do it. Find another county. Now, we also learned that if you are going to be doing any kidnapping, Pima County might be the place that you focus in on, because this has been a complete and total embarrassment. Like, this is an embarrassment. Pima County is deep blue, by the way, says Jess. You know what? You know what? We figured it out. You know why Pima County is having these problems?
Liberal. Happy fun, la la la. Human smuggling, fentanyl deaths. forced government euthanasia, chopping up children's genitals, la 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 la.
So many people around the country and really around the world are following this case and have questions about this case. And we received a couple of videos from people who had questions for you, specifically one about cameras in the area. I want to play this and then I want to get your reaction.
Can you provide any clarity on the traffic camera situation?
Chat. Calm down, chat.
There in Tucson, because I've heard that they don't really have traffic cams that the police can rely
Now,
on.
who
in
is
this
she?
investigation. And second question, do they have license plate readers in that area?
Okay, you're the perfect guy for this.
So on the first part of that question, we do not have many red light cameras or anything like that. There are a handful within the city limits. We had them years ago. The voters chose they didn't want them, so they were removed. So as far as the camera technology goes, specific to those cameras, there aren't a lot of them. License plate readers, there are definitely more of those. There are also private folks who are running license plate readers as kind of a side hustle.
Really? That's interesting.
Oh yeah, they'll work them to find stolen cars for repossessions, things like that. So that's not uncommon. The technology is out there, and there are other systems available to us as far as cameras go. The Department of Transportation, there are companies out there that we can work with that have cameras that can provide us information. The bad thing is if we don't know what we're looking for, the cameras are just showing license plates and cars.
Right.
So we need more to go on, but if they can get something.
Now, apparently other people, somebody tagged me in this. Other people are running with the narrative that this is a TV show. I hope everyone is enjoying the Nancy Guthrie show. The ratings are so good that they might even drag out this investigation long enough for a season 2. Be sure to tune in later when TMZ gets another fake ransom note. I'm telling you, when I first started memeing on this story at the first day, I was like, man, I hope I don't look like an asshole. I have been completely vindicated, completely. In fact, you know what's best about this? This guy doesn't follow me, okay? But guess what? All right, when I got tagged in it, all right, Adore Animals 218 tagged me. He responds 199 with a question mark. 199 is worldwide now. Prestige worldwide. 199 is worldwide, baby. Let's freaking go. That's pretty awesome, though. He said that. I don't know who this guy is, but that's pretty awesome. So that was really cool.
Then the technology is also there to start looking through those cameras and seeing, license plate ABC 123 went through at this time.
Yeah, and until you're here, you don't realize just how much brush there is. There's the cactuses. There's bushes. I mean, and the houses are set back off the road.
Yes.
So even if someone had a Ring camera, it seems difficult that they would actually capture something on the roads in these neighborhoods.
In neighborhoods like this, yes, they're not the cookie cutter type neighborhoods where you can see right behind us nothing but brush. And so until you're on property walking up to the door, there's not a lot that you're going to see. You might get a little bit of movement at the street, but unfortunately, a lot of times in these types of neighborhoods, you're not getting what you really want.
Something else I wanted to ask you about, Bob, is before we went out and witnessed what SWAT was doing last night, which was really.
So you remember how I dismissed a lot of the chat's theory of like this could be a distraction? I'm starting to kind of wonder if you guys were right about that, because the incompetence of this entire story has been so laughably bad that it's almost the only explanation that I can think is kind of like, it's the only explanation that makes any level-headed sense at this point in time. It's crazy. And on top of that, I mean, the media is just like anybody else. Like, look how much attention it's getting. There was YouTubers there was a YouTuber that had 85,000 people watching it last night. So you can translate that to like the mainstream media is getting a ton of attention on it as well. Fox News has been uploading more videos about Nancy Guthrie than I did about Brie Larson, okay? That's how bad. That's how bad it is.
Impressive, by the way. You're the Pima team. I mean, I know you are the boss of the team, so I mean, it's impressive to see them in action.
Good to hear.
But I heard a plane in the air, and I was told that Pima County has a surveillance plane. Do you think that was associated with the operation, and is that plane assisting right now?
The sheriff's department does have.
So my, what'd you say? Silver Shroud Music. When have you ever been wrong, Jeremy? Never, actually. Well, that was that time I said the quartering's a good guy. Never mind. I'm not doing that joke. No more jokes. No more jokes. No more jokes. No more jokes. Let's just move on. We're not getting involved in that shit.
A good aerial fleet. We have a good unit. We do have a plane. I don't know if it was up specifically last night, especially with the weather, but it very well could have been. It works hand in hand with our patrol. It works hand in hand on almost every SWAT mission that we would run, because having that aerial platform, again, going back to the primary goal of making that scene safe for the investigators, it's up there. It's looking for people who might be running, leaving the scene. If it was a plane and it saw a vehicle leave prior to the SWAT team getting there, they probably followed it, and that's what helped with the traffic stop on that vehicle.
Do you think, Bob, that we're getting closer? I mean, the hope is, yeah, we're all
No.
here. You know, we want Nancy to be found.
No.
I hope we're getting closer,
Dude,
and I
no.
think we are. Every day.
We're not getting closer. Look at this shit right here. This is from last night. Last night. At least 3 people detained in the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, I was watching Agenda Free TV last night, and I'm going to be honest with you. I almost got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and fired up a live stream. I did. I almost did it. I was like, it's about to happen, because Agenda Free TV, Steve Lookner, he was like, guys, I think we're at the end of this case. I think so. And I'm going, holy shit, I gotta go live. I gotta go live. Guess what? Nothing fucking happened. All right. They let Carlos and Hector and Santiago go last night. All of them.
So late Friday night, authorities descended on a home less than 2 miles from the Nancy Guthrie home in Tucson, Arizona. 3 people are detained, we understand. They are being questioned in relation to the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother. Joining us now live from the scene in Tucson, Arizona, Fox News correspondent Max Gordon. What's the latest, Max?
Hey there, John. Well, it's been a very active night here in the Tucson area for law enforcement. A lot of developments in the Nancy Guthrie case. Let's get you up to speed. So this all started for us. We first heard wind of this at around 8:30 p.m. local time. That's when we were getting some rumors that there's some law enforcement activity very close to Nancy Guthrie's house. We drove on over here. It was only about a 5-minute drive.
Can we get a breaking news chime for CobraCast? I think that will help save the channel. If we could get a CobraCast, like, boom, you know, like that would add a lot of production value to this. The other thing that adds production value to this is back-to-back $100 super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Burke with a $100 super chat. It says, breaking Guthrie subscription renewal. Oh, man. Look at there. Breaking Guthrie subscription renewal. You're welcome, mainstream media. I just got you a subscription renewal. You're welcome. And Harley Dave says, hey, Jeremy, is your channel under attacks? Well, I let the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, we've been live for 39 minutes, and that's where we're at right now. So you tell me, is this channel dead, everybody? 39 minutes, and that's where we're at. So looks like we're dead in the water. I don't know how we survive. I really don't. But hey, I'll keep trying. I'll keep chugging along.
About 2 miles driving, and that's where we saw a very heavy law enforcement presence. That's where we later learned 3 people were detained, 2 males, and then 1 woman who is the mother of one of those 2 males, detained at a house in this neighborhood. This is a very upscale neighborhood. A lot of these homes listed on Zillow for more than $1 million. And since we've been here, over the past couple of hours, we've seen a lot of vehicles.
So again, this was last night, and my point of playing this right here is to show you that nothing has actually happened. Santiago, Carlos, and Jose, I think those are the 3 names I said before. They have all been released from what I understand. They've got no one in possession anymore.
Enforcement vehicles going through this barricade. You can see behind me 2 SWAT team vehicles leaving the scene, and then several unmarked vehicles, potentially FBI vehicles, going on in, a whole convoy of them, really, as investigators comb through a house, we believe, in this neighborhood. It's unclear at this point if those 3 individuals that were detained lived in that home. It's also unclear if these individuals that were detained are actually suspects. Now, there is a second scene of interest. It's unclear if this second scene of interest is tied to the Nancy Guthrie case.
The only reason I said Santiago is because I was remembering the movie A Few Good Men. Did you order the code red? And so I was like, Santiago. Yeah, I remember that name. Yeah, that's a good one to meme on. So,
but law enforcement, local law enforcement, as well as FBI agents have been on the scene of this second scene where a car was stopped in a Culver's fast food parking lot.
Do I need to replay it? Culver's making a grand appearance here in this season of Breaking Guthrie. Culver's, baby!
Where a car was stopped in a Culver's fast food parking lot. Evidence tape was wrapped in evidence tape. 1 individual was detained in that instance. And this Range Rover, the silver or gray Range Rover, had its license plates covered, and it was then put on a flatbed and towed out of that parking lot. This is all based off of what our photographer on the ground was seeing. So a second scene of interest. Again, unclear if that second scene is tied to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. This scene behind us here, this home here in this neighborhood in the Catalina foothills, it has been confirmed tied to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. So in total, we've had 4 individuals detained this evening. Again, unclear if any of these...
The best part is that all of the news updates and all the press releases we're getting, all of the press releases are essentially telling whoever is responsible for this that we have no idea who you are. We have no leads. We have no information. We do know you were wearing an Ozark backpack. So what do you think he's going to do with that fucking backpack? He's going to throw the fucking backpack away. All they're doing is telling this person, hey, we know you're 5'10" or whatever. We know you're wearing this. We know you had an Ozark backpack. So you might want to get rid of that Ozark backpack, buddy.
Individuals are suspects in this case. Law enforcement has released very few details. Earlier in the evening, it appeared that the Pima County Sheriff's Department was going to release a statement to us. And then several hours later, they said that essentially they just had a law enforcement investigation, operations going on, and that the FBI had asked them to not release further details. So still a lot of questions about what exactly has transpired this evening, how all this relates to the Nancy Guthrie case. Again, everyone just hoping that Nancy Guthrie is still alive, but at this hour, many, many questions remain.
There's 0 chance, in my opinion. Again, I would love to be wrong, but I think there's 0 chance that this old woman is alive. I think there's 0 chance. And I think everybody knows that as well. Johnny the Whiz Kid for 50 says, hoping to give that above average or that above sweet average love. That is a meme from how many years ago is that? That's a G&G meme. How many years ago now? Is it like 2 or 3 years? Thank you, Johnny, for the 50. I do remember that one. Who came up with that one? I can't even remember. It was like those Valentine's Day cards that we did, those G&G cards. I can't remember. So sheriff did it. I don't think the sheriff did it. I don't think so. I mean, listen, I think that I'm not saying that family did it. Okay. I'm just saying that it seems like they would be the primary suspects at this point in time. Raggedy Man for 20 says coffee brand coffee sucks. Oof. Sorry you had a bad experience, man. Sorry about that. Even though I have nothing to do with it. But thank you for the $20. I don't drink coffee personally. And so I'm just not a coffee drinker. Never have been, never will be. Not my thing. I know like YouTubers like to create coffee companies, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. Bebop for 20 says Richard Petty greater than Dale Earnhardt. Don't get me started. I have nothing but respect for the king. Okay? I have nothing but respect for the king. But Earnhardt is the better driver. He just is. The king was racing back in the day when there was no rules, no parity, anything like that. Earnhardt had to do it in a time where they were trying to make it all equal and shit. Petty was just like, fuck it. We got no rules. So, but I respect the king. I respect the king. And then Bebop says, Mark Martin greater than Dale Earnhardt. You need to stop. You need to stop. I love Mark Martin. I love Mark Martin. Mark Martin is like one of the most consistent guys in NASCAR history. Even though he never won a championship, he's not better than Earnhardt. You can stop that right now. Okay. And then Bebop says, also Jeff Gordon greater than Tony Stewart. You're just fucking trying to piss me off now. You're just trying me now. You're just trying me. Again, I like Jeff Gordon, but he's a great driver. But Tony Stewart's one of the single most versatile drivers to ever live. He can drive anything. He can win a championship in anything. NASCAR. Now he's in NHRA, sprints, midgets, IRL. Dude was winning on dirt. He's won everything. Hotwire says, I watch your channel all the time. If you were ever behind enemy lines in Minnesota, I'd happily buy you a beer and show you how true Minnesotans feel. It's not what it seems. Brother, I appreciate it. Listen, I know there's a lot of, I've said this before that I think Minnesota's, I don't know if there really is a blue state in this country. I really don't. I believe if in a free and fair election, I'm not sure there's any blue states. I mean that genuinely. In a fair election, if this entire country had fair elections in every single state, I don't know if there would be a blue state. I truly do not believe there would be a blue state. Blue states typically are because of the heavily populated cities where they have blue leadership and they can corrupt the living hell out of it because of so many numbers in that area that they can just pad the numbers in that area. Because the blue cities, if you look at the map of the United States, it's like, what's the meme? Better coverage than Verizon. Like Trump has better coverage than Verizon. So like, I don't think I truly like, even like California, I don't think California is a blue state. I really don't. I think California is absolutely a red state that's been corrupted by the Democrats in the heavily blue areas. I absolutely think California is a red state. It's just sad, man. It is the blue cities, though. It is absolutely the blue cities. Okay, let's continue this.
Back to you.
All right. Thanks very much. Max Gordon reporting live there from Tucson. Let's turn now to Fox News contributor Ted Williams. He's a former D.C. homicide detective, also a defense attorney, joining us on the phone.
You're just gonna give us the rundown of stuff that we whatever. Now we do have this right here. How AI doorbell video could help crack the Nancy Guthrie case. 14 days later. Let me remind everybody, 14 days later.
Do you believe you found the DNA?
This is the sheriff.
Of the perpetrator inside the house? Do you believe that at this point?
What I believe is, what I know is, we found DNA. And
that was not Nancy Guthrie's DNA.
That was not Nancy Guthrie's DNA. So we'll still work with that, and we're working with our lab on that.
Okay, this all happened overnight. Law enforcement swarming an area about just 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson in an operation tied to this investigation. The sheriff is telling Fox News today that there have been no arrests made. No arrest made. So last night, if you were following this like I was, last night, it seemed like, oh shit, like something's up. Like at the Culver's parking lot, they had the white banner out and they were covering up the scene like something horrible. And they were like all of this crazy stuff like, oh, we think we got her. They found her dead body in the car and all this stuff. Like it was a clown show. Turns out Santiago, Jose, and Carlos all walked away. All right. They all walked away. And I mean, what do you expect? Did anybody expect something to actually happen? No. Let's see. Dale Jarrett, QVC card. Dale Jarrett was great. He was great for sure. Let me see. I mean, I can tell you right now, that I know where Jose, Santiago, and Carlos are. I know exactly where they are. This is where they are. They're right here. They're making music.
La ciudad se llama Duke, Nuevo México el estado. Entre la gente más.
This song is so good, by the way.
In custody after this operation. For more on the forensics in this investigation, joining us now is the cyber guy, Kurt Knutson, and former special agent in charge for the ATF, Bernard Zapor. And Bernard, I will start with you. I want to pull up this map of the SWAT activity and the location so people have a good idea of where this happened in relation.
I don't know what they're saying, but facts. Yes, Shreddy. Agreed. For a minute, I was like, is this the halftime Super Bowl show?
To Nancy Guthrie's home. It's within a 2-mile radius, Bernard. And this is kind of the 2-mile area that police have been asking for doorbell camera, for dash cam video, all the way like a month leading up to her disappearance. What are your observations after what happened overnight and this afternoon as we don't have anyone in custody?
You know, well, one thing is search warrant is a tool, and obviously they had enough information to develop an affidavit for probable cause to go in there and get evidence. And that was their objective. The same thing with the vehicle. So it's not necessarily expecting arrests unless the operation, if it was something other than a search warrant, like a hostage rescue, would have a different process to it and it'd be much more dynamic. And it'd be very obvious as to what was happening.
I just want to hear the specifics about, like, I don't want to hear theorizing from a bunch of talking heads. But like none of these guys have a fucking clue what they're talking about, because they're basically, Fox News says, hey, were you in law enforcement? Okay, can you come on and bullshit for about 5 minutes about theories about what could happen and what's not happen? Like, I don't care. I don't care. But we're going to continue.
In terms of the asking for the camera footage, obviously they have stuff that's feeding a possible timeline, a transition, and directly related to her.
I mean, it's like, I mean, and I'm not saying this from experience or anything, but it would be like, I don't know. It'd be like Piers Morgan calling me up and asking me to come on his show and talk about like some random, topic in the entertainment world. I mean, it would never happen and I would never agree to it. I would never agree to something like that, but that would be a hypothetical, like if that was to happen. That's what this is right here.
Possible transportation away from the home, and if people that were scouting possibly before any of this happened, because if they're asking for preceding video,
Africa,
that would lend one to believe that they're looking for commonalities in somebody in any kind of scouting activity.
And the video is incredibly important. I think it's the best piece of evidence they have, this doorbell camera video. Kurt, I want to play for you the sound.
Hail the Lord just said it. If I were a criminal watching this, I wouldn't even feel nervous. These people are idiots. Seriously, whoever did this is watching the news right now and being like, dude, they're never going to catch us. Like, I just want to show you this, okay? Look how many videos Fox News has uploaded about this shit. Nancy Guthrie, all right? Nancy Guthrie, 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 Nancy. Like, this is just in the past fucking day. It's crazy. Who are the people that are watching this bullshit? Who are the people watching this? Who are the people that are giving them the views? Who are the people that is continuing to signal boost this story? Oh, that's me. That's right. Sorry, my bad. This is a very important story. I can't believe that people are upset. I mean, everyone's focused on this.
From the CEO of Ring on why he thinks this is so critical. Watch.
Even with the destruction of the camera, they
I didn't know the Ring founder was also the mayor of Whoville. I did not know this. I didn't know. I think it's cool. I just was not aware that he was also the mayor of Whoville. I did not know this.
They were able to then, recover footage. And I don't want to speculate exactly like what happened or what subscription they had or whatever. I think there's a lot of probably information out there that we don't know. But it does seem like this video footage might be the best evidence so far, and it shows why it is just so important to have these cameras.
We're never.
Just so people understand, some of you may not have gotten the joke. Let's see. Here's the mayor of Whoville right here.
I have something for you.
Like everything is all here and heard him all right.
You heard him, officer. He admitted it.
I'd go with the pepper spray.
Yes, I heard him all right. He's
there. He is right there. The mayor of Whoville, everyone. Need a better shot of him right here. There he is. So there's the mayor of Whoville right there. I didn't know he was also the Ring founder, but that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So
why it is just so important to have these cameras.
We're never shown this guy smashing the camera, getting rid of the camera. Potentially, there's much more in there that they're not revealing to us.
There's a treasure
there
trove
certainly
with
is.
the video.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Sorry.
Not you guys aren't trained professionals like me.
Jamie Siminoff, he's the guy who invented the Ring doorbell. He knows his stuff when we're talking about video doorbell cameras. But for clarity, the one that was used at the Guthrie residence is actually now owned by Google, and it's a Nest one. He's not going to have to take a hammer to it to get it off there. He's just going to have to snap.
Right now, somebody just said in the chat, Breaking Guthrie is sponsored by Ring and Culver's. I think we do need to start looking at, so now Ring is getting a ton of coverage over this. TMZ is getting a ton of coverage, and now Culver's has become a central figure. Just saying.
Snap it, sort of lift and snap it right off. And that's what I understand. The latest intel we have is that it was taken away from the scene. The FBI and sheriff are not telling us details related to that, but what we know is, yes, indeed, that video is extraordinary.
And Ozark
important.
backpacks.
And even the video that we're
Ozark.
seeing now on the screen, I would imagine by now, with the FBI's tools, they will have enhanced this even more and more using AI that enables them to pull stills out of it to give some real sharpness to some of these images and create some high resolution footage that let us get into the details of understanding, even starting to define, okay, what potentially, we now know what the backpack manufacturer is from Walmart. Well, what might be in the backpack? And AI is extraordinary at taking wild guesses by assembling a lot of data, pouring it in there and seeing if it can guess in the right direction.
There's thousands of people missing. Why is this bitch so important, says Timmy Johns? Well, it's a fair question. I can only speak to my interest in it, and my interest is because the daughter, who is Savannah Guthrie, who is the Today Show host, has TDS. She hates Trump. And if you've been watching me long enough to know, if I can tie it back to hating Trump, I'm going to pounce. I'm going to pounce big time. Now, there was also a 2020 social media post that I never saw if it was debunked. It had been up for several days, but apparently Nancy Guthrie, the woman that has gone missing, she said that she can't wait for the entire Trump family to be in jail. And so now Donald Trump did get involved with this. He had a phone call with Savannah Guthrie, and he, told her he was going to put all the support of the federal government behind this, yada, yada, yada. So that's my interest in it.
The other aspect
that was real, that post. Yeah. I mean, I never saw it get community noted or anything. So TDS runs in the family, probably. But yes, that is my primary interest in this. Now, that was just my initial interest. Nothing could prepare me for how incompetent the law enforcement has been through this whole process. And so that's added to my interest level in this, because I am not watching this with any level of hope that this woman will be found. I don't believe that she will be found alive. I hope that I'm wrong about that, but based on the fact that it's been 14 days, that she needed medication, and that they have no suspects, they have no leads, they have no information on anything, that I don't think that. So I'm watching this truly from a meme standpoint, because it's just been unbelievably pathetic how this whole thing has played out.
Of this suspect who was videotaped at the front door.
Well, and I also find it interesting, Bernard, this ask for more video came kind of late, and maybe it's not late when you're an investigative official, but they're asking for video now from neighbors and people who live within this 2-mile radius. And I don't know if guys, if we can pull up that TMZ video, the video that was sent into TMZ, if we have it.
Oh yeah, TMZ, another TMZ
there's
reference.
More video that's coming in, and at least to TMZ, that shows somebody that looks similar. I mean, somebody that doesn't have a mask on, but is wearing something similar. Does that read to you that this may have been a case of where this neighborhood or this area had a burglary problem, or someone was going around hitting up homes, that this was random when this guy came across Nancy Guthrie's house?
Possibly, but I see the approach on asking for video as very tactical for the service of the investigation, because they're dealing with a paradox with a possible kidnapping. You have to treat it like a homicide, but you have a living victim. And so they have to run down every possible thing, like having access to the video themselves before they do anything public. When they finally go public with something like this, it's to generate tips, and it's to generate tips that they have to process at a very rapid level and yield the best fruit from it. And of course, it's many times it'll be something where somebody will recognize, for example, and say, that jacket, my landscaper had that, he hangs it on the back of his truck.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have to balance between being able to run down and possibly get ahead of whoever's doing.
Landscaper, huh? What's your landscaper's name? You just flexing that white privilege? Was that like a subtle way of going, I got Mexicans working for me. Is that what that was about?
Yes, and rescue her. But secondly, to yield the potential public information. So they probably want to do all their contact interviews, door knocks, and all of those things before they were openly asking necessarily for footage. But now that they think possibly that they had transport in the area of this, that's really going to prove useful.
Kurt, how are you hoping the FBI and local law enforcement use AI in this case? I mean, I've heard you can use AIs to even though this person's wearing a mask, maybe you can try to figure out not exact facial recognition, but maybe what this person's facial structure might look like.
There's a lot that AI could do. In fact, it's not necessarily what that one video shows, but it could be a lot of evidence coming in from miles away. For example, the video you're talking about that sort of surfaced with Harvey Levin on TMZ, that was a suspect.
Another
person of interest,
reference.
We'll call it, at
Another
about 6.5
reference.
miles from the Guthrie house, who was suspiciously backing up to the camera as not to be noticed.
Let's put it back up. It's so interesting because he's doing the same thing. He's trying to block the camera instead of just, if it's my gut instinct, I'm just going to knock it off.
Well, it will have captured you going up to the camera by then. So what he's trying to do is back up to it so his face isn't being shown. And the video there, I mean, it was odd. But then if you compare the two, I'm not an investigator, but I looked at the two and I said, well, yeah, that body shape, that movement, that build kind of looks like it could be that person. Whether that has been confirmed or not is another story. I think this is a new development in it that just surfaced yesterday afternoon. But I think what we're underestimating is what's going on right now by dozens, if not hundreds, of investigators, especially at the FBI. And that is 41 cell phone towers exist within 3 miles of Nancy Guthrie's house. In addition, throughout Tucson, while they're not as condensed as an urban market, there are in excess of 200 license plate readers that are throughout the city. Now we're asking for doorbell footage. And why? Well, I mean, it could just be a slight image moving by at 2 a.m. And if it's picked up on a house that maybe, say, 0.8 miles away, then again at another house seconds later, you can say, okay, I've got to.
Oh my God. It's getting just painful to it's getting painful. It really is. Listen, nobody knows what the fuck is going on. However, why aren't people on the mainstream media? Well, I'll tell you why, because they're in on it too. But if any honest person is talking about this, I'm not saying make direct allegations. I am not saying that at all. All I'm saying is we are 14 days into this and we have literally no leads on anything. We need to start asking some questions of the family. And we need to start asking some questions as to why TMZ has such incredible access to people that claim that they know where her whereabouts is. These are serious things that should be addressed. And the fact that they're not being addressed is kind of crazy. So I saw Mellow Yellow says, hey, Gary, love your channel. Is Gary in the chat? I didn't see Gary in the chat. Or was that a meme because there was an old guy on screen? If he was here, I did not see him in the chat. But Zwanny, I got that one. Kate, I got that one. Harley says Jeremy is also less than the cost of Bitcoin. Yes, I am. Try to be anyway. It is alarming. It's very alarming. Yeah, and all these fake ransom notes, it's just crazy, man. At this point in time, there's 2 entities that seem to be the most logical explanations. Obviously, the family for a plethora of reasons. Number one, they're the last people that are confirmed to see her alive. So at that point in time, that makes them the primary suspect based on the fact that we have no other information. They're the last people to see her alive. And then TMZ with all of this access to people that claim they know. The whole thing is weird, man. And I don't think we're going to get any answers anytime soon. But watching it play out has been a complete circus, to say the least. Ministry of Health thinks this Doge receipts drop receipts today on major Medicare fraud. They completely blindsided the left because the Medicaid lied about Doge. Disbanded last year. We used their own propaganda as a cover. Lamau. Hell yeah. That's what's up. I didn't see that. I was traveling today, so some stuff I am a little out of the loop on. I did see that Barack Hussein Obama did an interview, and Barack Hussein Obama had a few things to say. We also have Hillary Clinton, who had some stuff to say as well. But I want to talk about Barack Hussein Obama, because Barack Hussein Obama, I haven't heard any of this, by the way. By the way, Bubba Dank says, Happy Valentine's Day. We all love you. Isn't that nice? That's so nice. But Barack Hussein Obama responds to the ape meme that inadvertently appeared for 2 seconds at the end of a video posted by Trump about election fraud. I have not heard his response at all. I have not heard this. So here we go.
Just days ago, Donald Trump put a picture of your face on an ape's body. And so again, this is
even Barry laughed about it. You see that? Even Barry laughed. He tried not to. He tried to, but it's funny. That's why you're fucking laughing, Barry.
On an ape's body. And so again, this is kind of, we've seen the de-evolution of the discourse. How do we come back from a place that we have fallen into?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to recognize that the majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling.
No, they don't. No, they don't. And here you go again with your lies and your projection, pretending that you have all of the answers. No, they don't. The majority of Americans either don't care or find it funny. That's how the majority of the Americans view it. A small minority pretend to be offended and clutch their pearls and cry and scream racism. Most people either don't care or they find it funny.
It is true that it gets attention. It's true that it's a distraction. But, as I'm traveling around the country, as you're traveling around the country, you meet people. They still believe in decency, courtesy, kindness. And there's this sort of clown show that's happening in social media and on television. And what is true is that there doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum. And
because motherfuckers like you have called everything racist and sexist. People like you have branded literally everything racist or sexist, and you have moved that window so far to where people are like, whatever, we are just going to meme everything. We don't care anymore. If you're going to label every single thing racist or sexist, then we're just not going to care anymore. This is a result of everything that you created, Barry Obama. Everything.
And a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost. But the reason I point out that I don't think the majority of the American people approve of this is because ultimately the answer is going to come from the American people. And
well, Donald Trump's won 3 straight elections, Barack. So what do you think about that?
We just saw this in Minnesota and Minneapolis.
So there you have it. There is Barry Obama's response to a funny meme that even he laughed about. And again, let's play that in the beginning. As soon as he's asked about it, even he laughed.
Days ago, Donald Trump put a picture of your face on an ape's body. And so again.
Now, does that look like the face of a disgusted man who's so bothered by it? Oh my God, it's so painful. Like when someone does something like next level horrible, my initial reaction isn't to go, my initial reaction is like, yes, I'm aware of it. It's very disgusting, very bothered by it. No. So Barack Hussein Obama, nobody is buying into your virtue signaling. You kind of started all of this with the identity politics, or at least maybe you didn't start it, but you definitely popularized it big time. And so it's interesting. Now, more has happened in this interview that he had with what's the guy's name? Brian something. Brian. It was No Lie with Brian something. That's this guy's name. Barack said he ripped Gavin Newsom for allowing the homeless in encampments in California ahead of 2028. Here we go.
The same would be true, let's say, here in Los Angeles around the
Brian
homeless
Tyler.
issue.
Okay.
I think morally, ethically speaking, it is an atrocity that in a country this wealthy, we have people just on the streets. And we should have we should insist on policies that recognize their full humanity, people who are houseless, and be able to provide them the help and resources that they need. But we should also recognize that the average person, doesn't want to have to navigate around a tent city in the middle of downtown, and that we're not going to be able to build a working majority and support for the resources that we need to help folks like that, whether it's drug treatment or temporary housing or what have you. We're not going to be able to generate support for it if we simply say, you know what, it's not their fault, and so they should be able to do whatever they want, because that's a losing political strategy.
Somebody said, who is this? This is a former community organizer, one-term senator, had sex with men in the back of a car, reportedly, allegedly. And then the media and Hollywood basically elevated this person to president of the United States. So, yeah. Community organizer and a one-term senator suddenly becomes the president of the United States of America. But it's a racist country, everyone. It's all racist. Now, apparently, Obama also said that aliens are real. Did Obama just admit that aliens are real?
A couple questions here. Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
Now, I don't really understand where he's going with that, why he chose to answer it like that. Because on one hand, he's making a definitive answer while also saying that he cannot confirm it with his own two eyes, which makes completely no sense whatsoever. Now, personally, do I think that there are aliens? I feel about aliens like I feel about Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. I really hope it's real. I don't think it's real. I want it to be real. I hope that it's real, but I do not believe that legitimate aliens from another planet are real. I just don't. I hope so. I hope that they are. That's a good chat question. Chat, do you believe in not illegal aliens, okay? Not illegal aliens, all right? I know you guys will sit there and be like, heck yeah, But no, this is not for illegal aliens, okay? So this is for like aliens from another planet. I'll put this in the chat right now. Hang on. Are aliens real? Okay, here we go. Let's see what the chat has to say. I don't think so, but I hope they are. I hope so. I hope so, but I don't believe so. Wow, 70%, 65. All right. So high numbers, high numbers. Let's see. Real, but they are demons. Let's see. Donnie Denko says no, fake and gay. With that said, the way Obama answered this really makes no sense. It's very strange and it doesn't add up. But I mean, this is Barack Hussein Obama. Like when you're talking about Barack Hussein Obama, he's actually a phenomenal speaker when it's a script. When he gets up in front of thousands of people and he has a script, he is a very, very gifted communicator. When he don't have a script, bro, he makes my streams that are full of uhs and ands and like, he makes me look like the smartest guy in the world. He really does. He is a terrible speaker when he doesn't have a script. Okay, so next up, because we've got more, ladies and gentlemen, okay? We've got more to cover. Because Hillary Clinton showed up today, unfortunately, and yeah, we have to look at Hillary. Hillary Clinton tries a gotcha MAGA by announcing more people were deported under Bill Clinton and Barack Obama than in the first Trump term or the first year of Trump's second term. This is not a good play by her at all. But the fact that she said this is hilarious.
More people were deported under my husband and Barack Obama without killing American citizens and without putting children into detention camps than were in the first Trump term or this first year of Trump's second term. So I think it's important.
You're admitting that all of this is bullshit. We have been talking about this. The statistics about Barack Hussein Obama's illegal immigration and how he had no resistance from the mainstream, from these corrupt judges, for the rioting. None of that shit was happening because it's all fake and gay. It's all paid bullshit to try and create a false narrative about Trump. It's all meant for that. MAGA has been pointing this out nonstop. I made a video a few weeks ago about this. I was responding to somebody, and because again, the point being is that Barack Obama had 3 million people that he deported, and no one had anything to say about it. No protesting, no crying on the streets. You didn't have a bunch of ugly liberal women, white women crying about it. None of that shit. Zero. And yet Trump gets blocked by left-wing judges all the time. You have paid protesters, paid agitators showing up with professionally made signs. The mainstream media builds this narrative that the Trump administration's taking families and splitting families up. It's ridiculous. So for Hillary Clinton to do that shows that they truly are breaking. They are truly breaking right now. So Pokemon, go to the island. Yes. Don't make me play that clip, Donnie Danko. I should grift it. Marmalade, I got that one. Thank you, Nandy, for those 10 gifted memberships. Babo Yogi says, you hate your mods. Jessica still isn't monetized. She's getting there. Is she here right now? Coopster says, didn't read my super. Homicidal Violence becomes a new member. Thank you. Gearmaster says, help, my channel is under attacks. Good old Good old Harley Dave. I think you got one that's going to last right here, Harley Dave. Under attacks. Dark Metal Spider says, did Quartering delete his reaction video to you? I don't, I mean, not that I know of. I mean, he turned off comments on it. And again, that's why I just wanted to, like, when somebody's turning off the comments on YouTube and the replies on Twitter, at that point, you're like, okay, it's time to back off. So, yeah, I don't do that. But anyway, Eric says, cannot wait for Cobra Cast to get AI host. Maybe we will get someone we all deserve. Golden Nugget says, cancer came back in lung. Gotta have an op to remove part of the lung. I'm so effed off, man. Oh, man. Dude, prayers up. You've been fighting this battle for seems like years at this point, man. So yeah, please let us know. Keep us updated. Prayers up, brother. Let's see. Robert says a channel under attacks. Labco says Tim Pool actually read one of my super chats the other day. First one I sent in many years. I immediately went out and bought lottery tickets. Pat K199 says Team USA beat Denmark in ice hockey today. I'm pretty sure that means we get Greenland. Hell yeah, it does. Redbox says, let's go. Breaking Guthrie, mainstream media, boomer, sensational scandal. The bizarre, inept execution of this presentation itself in itself is entertainment. You are correct. Daniel Moore says, the hell did I just walk into? Robot Boop says, for the casino and the 199. Eric says 300K. You got to do better, Jeremy. I know. I'm struggling. Grapthar's Hammer says Cobra Leering Center incoming. Daniel's Corner says Earnhardt tax. Little Jim Sailor says Big Marco tax. Daniel Moore says Tree Bear tax. Daniel Moore says I was 7 years old when Earnhardt passed away. That's crazy, man. Dark Metal Spider says, Jeremy, I mentioned the Quartering vid because I couldn't find it. It isn't there. Well, it was on a live stream. And then it's on Alyssa Clip's channel. She clipped it out. So you can find it over there. Josie says the Quartering is coping tax. Daniel Moore says it was me, Barry. Under Armour Gamer says, what the hell is the, oh, you got that. Pippi Bird says, are you qualified to grift on the internet? I heard your channel is failing and that's why you're under attacks. I try my best. VJ says, Jeremy, have you seen Steve Bannon in the latest Epstein file drop? Some eyebrow raising stuff in there. Yeah, man, I've never been a fan of Steve Bannon. I know that I've been accused of working for him. But yeah, I haven't read a lot of the details on it, but I mean, I know that there's been a lot of questions around Steve Bannon and his involvement for a long time with Epstein. And apparently now people are starting to look back on the first Trump administration, which Steve Bannon was part of, and they're accusing him of being one of the main leakers of the Trump administration, where he was trying to stab Trump in the back. I don't know. Bannon is a very, very methodical player in how he kind of manipulates what people think about him. So I don't know enough about him. However, it doesn't seem like things are looking good from that perspective. Now, with all of that said, Trump has still kept this guy somewhat close. Like, Trump has brought this guy to the White House during this term. So it's like, I don't understand what Trump's play is there. If you're going to continue to keep this guy close, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So yeah, I don't know what his play is at all. Let's see. Clutch City Fan says, Jeremy, I tagged you for a new Sydney clip in your 199s on Twitter. Hail the 199. Happy Jessica. Noted. I will check it out. Zeke the Wise says, Jeremy, thoughts on the midterms? Are we losing the House and the Senate? I mean, it's really impossible to say. I mean, historically, midterms are not favorable for a sitting president. And that's just that's what a lot of people, swig of water for the working man. That's what a lot of the black pillars are out there. They're pushing this narrative that because of Trump's, blah, 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 or we're going to lose the midterms. Like, the midterms are historically not good for a sitting president. They're historically not good. Now, with that said, I don't know what Trump's plan is. I've heard plans that he is going to go full campaign mode, which he absolutely should, because like it or not, the midterms truly are the most important thing that we have going on in this entire year. Because if we don't win the midterms, you might as well just kiss the rest of Trump's term goodbye, because he will be fighting for everything and they will be blocking everything. If we don't win the midterms, it's all over. So that's got to be the focus. 100% has to be the focus. So it's going to be huge. I mean, honestly, I say this like the midterms this year are almost as important as the election was last year. Like that's how, or I guess 2 years ago. So that's how important this shit is. It's massively important. And yes, the SAVE Act is going to be crucial in that as well. Miniature Von Thing says, you didn't finish that salty video. It was just about to get interesting. Sorry, maybe next time we can get that. Graptar Hammer says $20 says Guthrie got lost in the desert like Nacho Libre. Moto Geek says Sabaton tax. Gold Standard says, why has Trump not fired Bondi after her horrible and embarrassing performance in front of Congress? Some people are going to theorize that Trump, so aliens are real. 68% says yes. Some people are going to theorize that Trump is not going to fire Bondi because it will show weakness in a time where his administration is trying to project strength, and that Trump won't fire Bondi until after the midterms for that very reason. That's just a theory that's out there, which I think is probably a good theory. However, she is terrible and she does need to go. But that would be my theory on it. Bubba Dank says, using the free chat to tell everyone, let's see, chili sucks. Is that right? Tornado Freaks said red drum. Taker says, I can't be alone on this, but was X-Ray Girl topless on FNT? If she was wearing anything, it was barely in frame. I wasn't on FNT, but I'm going to have to go do some research on that, and I will follow up. I'm going to do some extensive research on this topic right here. And I will follow up with all of you and let you know. So, and listen, I deserve super chats for doing that type of research. I deserve super chats. So anyway, Lapco says your channel wasn't dying back when you had Breets. Never change what's working. Forced cream pie guy for a 99 cents. Southeastern Kaiju says, haven't been following the story, but who do you think most likely will get their own spinoff from Breaking Guthrie? This is a great question right here. This is a great question. Okay, so Chad, if you had to theorize at this point in time, who do you think who's the most likely character in Breaking Guthrie to get a spin-off channel? Carlos is a good one. Culver's. You know what? I'm going to say it. Savannah Guthrie. Oh, yeah. Savannah Guthrie will get a spinoff show out of this one. Oh, yeah. It'll be Savannah. 1,000%. Yep. Graptar Timer says, Culver's is the Los Polos Hermanos. Phil says, it's funny to me that it's BHM and the main story for February is about a white family. DEI is actually defeated. Better call Trump. The Black Hole Time Forgot says, try the cocoa blend forced cream piss. Chad says, I'd buy some Snake Pit coffee. Jared Armstrong says, Tony Stewart on dirt is one to die for. I understood that reference. Lapco says, Jared's from Alabama. No coffee, no tea. It's paint thinner or nothing. Ugly Duckley says, I lived in Pima County for 20 plus years, and it's Tucson and leftist shitholes. That's all you need to know about them. That sounds about right. Lamco says, didn't they open and then reclose that crime scene? Who knows how many journo asshats polluted that crime scene? What a joke. I refuse to care. They did. They opened it. They closed it and reopened it and closed it again. Lord Botha says, fun fact, founder of Ring Doorbell originally went on Shark Tank and got rejected, only to go on and make billions and come back as an investor himself. Really? That's crazy. Gerald Armstrong says, Nick greater than Dale. I'm being careful how y'all trying to trip me up on that stuff. J Ram says Denzel couldn't get this biatch back. Brian Stewart says the quartering 80% good guy, 20% got some problems. Eric says, call Gary and tell him he's gay. Southeast Kaiju says, nobody tries to cover up a camera on the side of their hand. No one has talked about that. I must have missed it because that's just tarded. John Orchard says, what bothers me is that it showed up after showing there was possible election fraud and no one cares. Specific to what? What are we talking about in there? I'm a little lost on that one, John. Bill Herb says, I like the quartering, but if he just embraces the meme, it wouldn't be in this situation. Never take the internet seriously. You will get eaten whole and spit out. I do too, but like I said, yeah, man. I mean, that's my feelings on it too. I've said as much as I think I, need to say. I'm not interested in continuing on. There will be some comments here or there. We'll laugh, but like, I'm not going to go in. I'm not going to clip out videos and all of that and put them on D-Day Cobra 2. It's just when people are turning their comments off, it's clear that it's time to just be like, okay, let's move on. Tinhead says there's a theory about aliens where a scientist there has to be the first and last advanced alien race, and there might be either the first or the last in our galaxy. I have no idea. Hold on. There's a theory about aliens where a scientist there has to be a first and a last advanced alien race. And that we might be either the first or the last in our galaxy. Okay. I don't really understand what you're saying. I'm a little confused, but I appreciate it. I know you're probably making a point, but it just like it was like a run on. It was a little like, what? Hail to you, Tinhead. Cue Ball says Nancy is in a fugue state and will show up in a convenience store. Wearing only a bowler hat. Say her name. You're Nancy Guthrie. You're GD right I am. Dude, I want Nancy Guthrie to show up and in an interview, Nancy Guthrie sitting there and she's like, say my name. And they're like, huh? Interviewer's confused. What do you mean? She's like, say my name. And the interviewer's like, you're nervously. They're like, you're Nancy Guthrie. You're GD right I am. And I'll be like, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is the greatest television show of all time. John says, clarification, Barack and everyone is more concerned about the jungle video instead of election fraud. Okay, which was what the original video was about. I got you. Okay, I see what you're saying now. Jeremy, he's saying we might be the only ones out there because we are either at the beginning or the end of the galaxy. Okay, I get what Tinhead's saying now. I understand. Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And thank you, Tinhead. Hail to you. Are aliens a sport? Lapco says, see, this is why we need total surveillance state. Otherwise, we might lose random boomers. Can you imagine anything worse? Think of the boomers. Peter says, since it's Valentine's Day, can you stare into into the camera for at least a few minutes? My bedtime is in 20 minutes, and I need to finish.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women, sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I'm going to say no, but I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you. Bill Herb says, did we ever get answers to that guy who shot up the school, shot that conservative girl while yelling something? It had a manhunt for him. No, not to my knowledge. Disinfected Scientist says, Mark Rubio gave the greatest 20-minute speech ever. I've heard about this. So tomorrow night, if I get a chance to go live, because I do have some family stuff going on tomorrow, but I do want to react to that speech if possible. Daniel Morris says, we've all seen Beardo. Dark Red Knight says, if aliens aren't real, how do you explain Savvy? This is a great question. Rock's review reaction says, aliens are just the fallen ones, demons from people who claim to have met them. They say the evil is just so present around them and it scares them. What is your, just out of curiosity, what is your favorite legit alien movie? I'm just curious about that, chat. What is your favorite legitimate alien movie, like Outer Space Aliens? Name me some. Let's see if I've seen them all. Curious what people will say. Of course, Aliens. Yeah, I know those are going to be huge. I'm sure a lot of people will say, yeah, E.T. K-Pax. I haven't seen that one in a long time. Independence Day is legendary. Signs. I might need to watch Signs again because I did not like Signs. Now, I might need to go back and watch a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies again because I tend to not like M. Night Shyamalan movies because they just tend to not give a great payoff. I thought Signs was terrible. What was that other one? The Village. I was so excited about The Village. And it ended up just not being great. And I was like, God, it's all like the only M. Night Shyamalan movies that I've actually walked away and been happy with. Well, number one, The Sixth Sense got spoiled for me. So I did not get to watch The Sixth Sense and this is like when it was in theaters, I think. I can't remember when it was. I just remember it got spoiled for me. But so I never watched The Sixth Sense without, like, I knew the end. So I didn't get that payoff. There was there was one in an elevator. I think either M. Night was the writer or the director of Devil, I think. Was that the name of it? Devil? It was like something to do in the elevator. That was a really good movie. I really enjoyed that one. I think he might have been a writer. I don't think he was a director. I can't remember. So, Jeremy, watch Absence. Stargate. I saw that one. Stargate. Was that Kate that said that? Yeah, Stargate. Let me see. Oh, gosh. The Happening. Marky Mark. What? No, dude. The Happening is so bad. That was a bad movie. It was a very bad movie. So bad it was almost good. Chris Whiting says, my channel is under a tax. Okay, now we're getting cooking, baby. Now we're getting cooking. Contact. Man, there's so many recommendations. Transformers, honestly, not a bad pick. Adam says he was saying humanity might be the first ones in the galaxy or the last race to reaching space traveling, conquering the galaxy because everyone else is dead. Got it. 100%. Arrival. I liked Arrival. A lot of people compared Arrival to Interstellar, and I don't think there's any comparison. I think Interstellar's, it's my favorite movie of all time. So let's see here. Blazing Saddles. Starship Troopers is amazing. Starship Troopers is freaking amazing. Let's see. Superman. Hotwire says super chat number 2. Damn, literally everything you say is right out of my brain. Leroy Jenkins. Jeremy's favorite movie is 1992 Space Movie. Daniel Moore says -7. I saw it. So you were -7. Oh, I didn't catch that in your super chat. I got you. Bill Herb says Dale Earnhardt has never won a Piston Cup. Can't say he's that great. Lightning McQueen is still peak. Daniel Moore says, better call Santiago. Bubba Doom says, let's see, Huel should get it. Sean Austin says, you think we developed uncanny valley feeling because in the far past we had to learn to recognize AI. I mean, possibly, dude. Listen, AI will fundamentally change everything. I know some people are dismissive of it, but and I'm not necessarily negative on AI, but it's going to fundamentally change everything. John Carter of Mars. You know, that movie would have done better if they would have called it John Carter of Mars. It would have. Rock's review reaction says, I think you missed our super chat. I got it. It was a few minutes ago. Never mind. You were reading from the biggest to smallest. No, it's just in line. I'm just reading it in order is all it is. Shorty Short says, hello there, Jer. Hello. Predon Corp says, Jeremy, play the Kino watches Gary Reed's RTU clip. Maybe next time, Predon Corp. Predon Corp, I saw when you were begging Warski to read that one too. I was watching, and Warski's like, Predon Corp, if this isn't good, I'm banning you. And then they watched it, and then he was like, okay, that was really good, Predon Corp. I watched that. I was watching live when that shit went down. Flag Ninja says, Lady in the Water is when M. Night lost me. Chad says, Starfighter. Kate says, okay, fine, Firefly. I think everybody's going to agree with you on that one. Let's see. Hotwire says, The Last Starfighter. Geeks and Gamers understands. Last Starfighter is greatness. It's greatness. Narco says, Flight of the Navigator and batteries not included. Flight of the Navigator. Yep. Man, the chat is going absolutely crazy right now with recommendations. Let's see. I don't know how to say your name, so I'm just gonna say Hick. Says, so a little old white lady is dominating Black History Month, pretty much. Steven Strange says, could you please react to Marco Rubio's speech today? It was fire. Thank you. I am going to probably tomorrow. Bronze Knight says, rumor is they're getting picked up for a new season featuring members of the South of the Border Manhunt and celebrity cameos. Taco Bell and Del Taco are fighting over product placement rights. Mike Eric says, have no fear. The FBI and Pima County are on the case. Not a good thing, by the way. Not a good thing at all. Let's see here. Noble Rabbit says, The Fifth Element mic drop for $50. $50. Thank you for that $50 super chat. Fruit of the Mystery says, Signs is better than Interstellar. There's an easier way to say you're retarded. I'm just saying, man, there's an easier way to say that you're retarded. You don't have to do coded language. You can just say, I'm retarded. And I will say, like, hey, man, I appreciate you letting me know. So thank you for the member message. Phantom Raven says, no one will save you. React to the trailer. Little Jim's Halo says, Dark Skies, fuck that movie. I've been terrified. You know, we've been getting hit for trailers too. Like the other day, Geeks and Gamers Daily got blocked for the Spider-Man Noir trailer. We got blocked. It's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? Why are you blocking me? Predon Corp says, did you get my super? I did. Oblivion, you know, that's a Tom Cruise one. I feel like Oblivion. Did I watch that? I don't know if I watched Oblivion. See, Jeremy just admitted on screen that he's retarded. Well, I do that every stream. So, Jeremy, check out The Wizard of Oz. Is Oblivion came out around the same time as Live, Die, Repeat, right? I can't remember if I saw Oblivion. I may have to rewatch that one. Jay got taken down from Noir as well. Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous that they keep blocking people for just trailer reactions. Bubba Dank with 10 gifted memberships. Holy crap, chat's going crazy. Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, they renamed it to Live, Die, Repeat, which would have been a better title from a marketing standpoint. But Edge of Tomorrow is fantastic, though. Where are we at here? I'm trying. The chat's moving so fucking fast. War of the Worlds. Which one? I mean, I like both of them, but I really like the Tom Cruise version. I really did. I really liked that movie. A lot of people did not like that one, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. That was a really good one. The Tomorrow War. Listen, the Tomorrow War is a goofy movie that I absolutely enjoyed. I enjoyed it. Arclight with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Appreciate it. War of the Worlds with Ice Cube. Yeah. Okay. Not that one. That is straight up comedy. Little Jim Salo says, there's a movie on Netflix called, Spectral. Is that it? Battle Los Angeles. Tomorrow War is great. I really enjoyed it. Galaxy Quest. Now you're speaking my language. Galaxy Quest is amazing. 1992 space movie says Jeremy never reads my super chats. Scary Movie 3. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Dude, where's my car? Now you guys are just spewing off anything now. Pixels. District 9 is phenomenal. Highly recommend District 9 if you have not seen it. District 9 is great. For anybody that has not seen it, go watch it immediately. You will love it. District 9 is fantastic. Love that movie. They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper. Damn right. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. What was that? You guys, I always forget the title of this one. What's the movie? What's the movie with the little green guy that's crawling out of the toilet on the cover? What is that? What's the name of that fucking movie? The little green monster that's crawling out of the toilet. It's on the cover of it. What is that? What is it? Critters? No, it's good. Hang on. Is it Ghoulies? Let's see. I think I know it's not it's not alien related, but I wanted to bring this up. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So right here, okay? Every time when I was a kid and we would see this at the movie at like Blockbuster Video, we would always pass this and it traumatized me. I didn't want to poop in the toilet, man. I was like, I don't want to poop. I'm just terrified. I'm like, I don't want to poop. There's a green monster going to crawl up and get me. Like, I was terrified for like years. I was like, can I just poop outside? We're from Alabama. It's not a big deal. Can I just poop outside? I was just like, I just didn't want to do it, man. It scared the shit out of me. Well, it scared, I guess it kept the shit in me because I was like, I ain't pooping. Mom, the little green monster's going to come and get me. No poop tax. DG says the black hole. Tinhead says favorite alien movie was Battleship. Has to be Battleship. Scaleworks says Starship Troopers. Adam says War of the Worlds from 1953 is better. That one is good. Grandis Potato says Oblivion, Elysium, Valerian, John Carter, and Jupiter Ascending. Chappie, all great movies. Honestly, Valerian does not get talked about enough. Luc Besson, who I just saw his Dracula movie, which is great, by the way, but Valerian was awesome. Not enough people talk about it, but I really enjoyed Valerian a lot. Flag Ninja says OG Men in Black. I really liked Valerian. Nobody talks about Valerian. Valerian is dog shit. Man, nobody likes Valerian, apparently. I fucking liked Valerian. I thought it was good. Jupiter Ascending is fucking... I never saw that one. Isn't that the Channing Tatum movie? Channing Tatum, right? Let's see. Yeah, Luc Besson got like Me Too'd or something. I don't know what happened with that. I guess he got like I don't know what happened, but he did The Fifth Element, Valerian, and he did this new Dracula movie, and this new Dracula movie was really good. Have you watched Hours with Paul Walker? Hours with Paul Walker. Hang on. There's a lot of like random Paul Walker movies that Hours. Paul Walker. I don't think I've seen Hours. No, I don't think I've seen that one. What's that one Paul Walker movie where they find those kids that were being imprisoned, kidnapped? What is that one with Paul Walker? Running Scared. Yes, Running Scared. That is a really powerful movie with Paul Walker. R.I.P. to Paul Walker. But yeah, Running Scared, great movie. I still can't. Dude, somebody posted like the picture of Varsity Blues yesterday after James Vanderbeek died. So we've lost Paul Walker, James Vanderbeek, and the big dude from Varsity Blues. Like, oh my gosh, man. Like, oh, so sad, man. So sad. Varsity Blues is a great movie. Really, really good. Let me see. I didn't know, let's see. I didn't know that one dude died though. Hang on, I'm looking right now to see. The guy that played Billy Bob did he die? Yeah, he did die. Ron Lester. He died in 2016. Holy shit. And he had lost a lot of weight. I don't want your life. I don't want your life. That was a line from Varsity Blues. So, yeah, so that's crazy, man. All three of those guys no longer with us. So right there, this is IMDb. James Vanderbeek is gone. Paul Walker's gone. And Ron Lester is gone. John Voight still with us. How old is John Voight now? Holy crap. We haven't lost whipped cream bikinis. We all remember that scene. Old, yeah. 137, probably. He's 87. John Voight's 87. That's crazy. Let's see. Garbear199 says, didn't know Kata was on the Ghoulies cover. Noble Rabbit says, via the original series is goated. Vault199 Gaming says, scared the shit back into Jeremy Tax. RuneScape says, they live. Chad says, Total Recall. Duh. Greatness. He'll be 88 this year. That's crazy. Strongest Link says, Improper 199. I'm late. What are we doing? We're just randomly talking about movies at this point in time. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, Jeremy, it's Valentine's night. You should be boom, boom, switch with your loved ones right now, not messing with us single folk. Well, that's why I wasn't available today. I had to spend some time with the fam, but gotta work. But you know, that's why I was unavailable today. Flag Ninja says, how about the movie Species? Natasha Hendridge, enough said. She was awesome back in the day. Narco says, we haven't lost whipped cream bikinis. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. But with that said, it is time to wrap it up. 2 hours and we're out. That was the allotted time I was told. And we're right on time. So, but I do appreciate it. Got to get back to family, but I do appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. I might be live tomorrow, but I have family obligations. So if I'm live, it's probably going to be late tomorrow night again. If I'm live, it will be late tomorrow night. Keep that in mind. But I do appreciate it. So I hope you guys have a good evening. And we're going to end with Sabaton because it was requested. Bye, everyone.